How you doing today? I'm Frank Greco, aka Frankie G, the cooking cowboy. Today in my kitchen we're going to be making Salisbury steak, homemade Salisbury steak with some French onion gravy and some potatoes with paprika, olive oil, salt, and pepper. So let's see the ingredients we're going to need to make this recipe. So the ingredients we're going to be needing are some extra virgin olive oil for drizzling, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 large onions sliced, some salt and coarse black pepper, some ground thyme, 2 pieces of stale white bread crust trimmed, some milk or half and half, I'm using half and half, about 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 large egg beaten, a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, 3 tablespoons of grated onion, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1/2 a cup of dry white wine, and 1 cup of beef stock. And then for the potatoes, I'm going to have some potatoes chopped up, some red potatoes chopped up into small chunks, evenly distributed, some paprika, some salt, some pepper, and some olive oil for that as well. So let's get started. So what you want to start out is with the potatoes. Now I've got the potatoes cut into nice even chunks. I'm going to get a pan over here. I'm going to spread them out evenly in the pan like this. Get in there, guys. Spread that out evenly. I'm going to use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in there. And don't be shy, okay? If shy people come in last. Drizzle it on there. Put this off to the side. Let's get some paprika now. Let's sprinkle that on. A paprika is a pepper primarily from Spain. So you got to be careful when you're adding pepper, black pepper and paprika, because they're both peppers. It also gives it some nice color. Some salt. And if you've seen any of my episodes from the past, what kind of salt? Pink Himalayan sea salt. That's right. I wonder how many of you people said that with me. Some ground pepper. And we take our spoon and we mix that together. Try to get it coated evenly. Starting to get a little bit of color, as you can see. I like to add a little more paprika. This way, it gets more color to it. Makes it pretty, Ma. So now it's got some nice color. We want to put it in the oven. The oven I got set for 350 degrees. Now we're going to let this cook for about 35 to 45 minutes. We want to get these potatoes nice and soft. Into the oven they go. So let's start with the main recipe. What you're going to have to do first, we got to get them onions going. So let's get that started. So we're going to want a medium heat, but again, let's let that pan heat up just a little bit before we add the olive oil. This way we don't burn the oil. And while I'm doing that, let me put the timer on for them potatoes. Start that at about 40 minutes. So now that we've allowed the pan to get hot, let's add the olive oil. Okay, about 2 tablespoons. Nah, about a tablespoon. Put that on the side. Let's go get the butter. Now you're going to want to use 2 tablespoons of butter. It's in the pan. Let's melt that together. And remember, you never want paper left on that butter. So we're getting that mixed in. And today we're going to try something different. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in there before I add the onions. This way it should coat it more evenly. A little bit of salt in the butter. And some pepper. So now let's add the onions. Let's throw this in the sink. Now let's get a spatula and start stirring them up. So now we've got the onions started. Maybe a little bit more salt and pepper. I'm going to be a bit of a rebel. Pepper first. We're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to let it do its thing. We're going to stir it every so often. But you want to cook this about 20 or 25 minutes until they get nice and tender and soft. We're actually going to caramelize them. Caramelization brings out a nice flavor. Some people add sugar, but I don't want to add sugar because I want it to caramelize naturally. Now with the salt and the pepper, you want to add some thyme. Maybe a teaspoonful. Let's put that away so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Stir that in. So we're going to let that cook a little bit. So while we're doing that, we're going to go get started on the Salisbury steak itself. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the breadcrumbs, you take 2 pieces of bread and you let it get stale. And then you cut it into small cubes. That's how I like it. Put that off on the side. And to that, you want to add a little bit of half and half. Or you could use milk. I like to start from half. Wasn't much left there, but just enough to get what I need to get done. So drop that in. Let that soak in a little bit. Get it mixed together well. Make sure. See how I use only a little bit of half and half, so I really don't have to strain it out. Come back, stir the onions a little bit. Oh, the aroma. I'm telling you, that thyme just gives it an aroma that's to die for. So now that we've got our stale bread mixed in with the milk, we just want to get it together. Look, we have to have one right here. So next what we want to do is we want to get our ground beef. We want to add the ground beef to the bowl. I'm using 2 pounds of 73%. Because like they say, more fat, more flavor. Put that in, put that off to the side. Let's go stir those onions real quick. Starting to come together, starting to get some color. Everything's coming along beautiful. So now we want to add our stale bread to the meat. Try to spread it around a little. Spread the love around. Nah, mean. Put that in the bowl. Put that bowl off to the side. So now we want to add the Worcestershire sauce. And the grated onion. And spread that around too. Let's go stir those onions real quick. of salt and pepper in there for flavor. A little salt, some pepper. One of the last ingredients we don't want to forget is the egg itself. The 1 egg beat. You need to add that in as well. Let's get these in the sink. They're in my way. They're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Now, to be safe, I'm going to put some gloves on, just to mix the meat up. So let's get that meat mixed. This way, I put the gloves on, feel more comfortable with it, you know? Because you have to do this with your hands. And you want to get that bread mixed in. You want chunks of bread. You want everything distributed evenly. We're going to see if I can speed this up for you a little bit. It's coming together real nice. Now that we've got it mixed in real well, let's put it off to the side. Actually, I'm going to put it right here on the cutting board. It looks beautiful. Take this off for a minute. So I can go stir the onions. If I can get them off. Okay, let's throw this out. Let's stir these onions some more. Oh, they're caramelizing nice. They're almost ready, actually. Let's see if I can tilt that to give you a picture of what we got going on here. I love my job, man. If I would have been smart, I would have been cooking from day one. So now I want to get this patty into 4 even pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my knife. Let's get this bowl, put it in the sink so it's out of the way. Get some more gloves. So now what we want to do is I want to cut this into 4 equal portions, approximately. You got to be close. Now once we got it into 4 portions, separated, we want to get it into a nice big patty about 1 inch thick. Something like that. So now I'm going to get it off to the side. I'm going to get another cutting board so I can put this on a separate one. It's very moist, but that's good. Let's get those onions off. I think they're good now. Temporarily get those off the heat. Get our second one made. And the third one. And last but not least, number 4. Again, it's going to look something like this. You want this patty to be about an inch thick. Now we can get these clubs off. Saves a lot of cleanup too with your hands. Okay, not bad. So what we want to do is we want to cook this in a separate skillet because we're going to combine the juices from one skillet and add it to the other skillet to make the French onion gravy. So let's get this started. let's go heat up this pan. Let's get a little taste of those onions. As Larry David would say, pretty good. So now that this pan has been heating up a little bit, let's add that olive oil to this pan. You can't go wrong with olive oil. I remember Robin Williams, one of his first movies, one of the first ones he ever made was Popeye, and olive oil was asking, why did you name that baby Sweet Pea? And he said, what would you name it? Baby oil? Spread that olive oil. Now you want to get this pan also on about a medium heat. Which that's where it is, medium. There's only one thing that's missing from this meal right now. Some Cabernet Sauvignon. The hidden glass. So now I've got this oil in good. Let's get these in the pan. One, two, three, and number 4. Let's get this into the sink. Once you get these into the pan, what you want to do is you want to let them cook about 15 minutes, about 7 to 8 minutes per side, and don't touch them. Let them cook. As long as you have it on medium heat, they won't burn, they'll brown. But if you try to turn them too soon, the end result is going to be they're just going to break up into small pieces, and that's not what we want. So let them do their thing. Let's get a spatula out too. So I have my spatula ready. A little bit of vino. And now we go wash those cutting boards. And now that the Salisbury steak has been cooking for about 7-8 minutes, you want to turn it over. Be careful there. You want to get it in one piece. Come on. There you go. And that one needs to cook a little more. So we're going to rotate these around. Going to add that heat to it just a little more. So now we're going to let that cook another 7-8 minutes on that side. And then we're going to get them out. They should be ready to go out of the pan. So it's been about 35 minutes. Let's check on those potatoes, see how they're doing. Ooh. So the potatoes need just a little bit more. It's been 35 minutes, maybe another 5-7 minutes. In the meantime, let's put that timer on. Since it's been about 4 minutes, we're going to put it on about 6 minutes because I want to let these cook a little more. I'm going to get my cutting board out, put the cutting board back on the table so we can put the meat on the cutting board. I like to clean up as I go because at the end, there's not much left to do. Makes it easier. So, now that we've allowed the meat to cook, let's get that out of the pan and put it on the cutting board. So now that we've got them transferred to the cutting board, we want to bring back, put this off the heat just for a minute. Let's bring back the onions on that medium heat. We're going to add the flour to the onions. Get that in the sink. Stir that together for about a minute. It's going to come kind of pasty, but that's okay. There's a reason for everything in life, my friend. Let that stir in. About a minute or so. So now what we want to do is we want to get our half a cup of white wine. And we want to pour that in. And be very careful when you do it. You want to add that into the pan where we're going to cook the Salisbury steak. We're deglazing the pan. Now that the pan's been deglazed, you want to add that to the onions. Put that pan to the side. And you also want to add your cup of beef broth. And that's the last step. So now we can put this off here on the side. And we just want to mix that up and let that thicken up just a little bit. You got to give it a minute or so. You want to mix all that together and make sure it all comes together nice. Give it a minute or two to thicken up. While that's doing that, we're going to take another check on those potatoes. Potatoes are just about there. Everything's coming together right at the same time, which is beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. Let's get a little taste. Oh, that's beautiful. The French onion gravy is looking good, Billy Ray. The French onion gravy is to die for. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, that piece de resistance. Let's get this off the heat. I'm going to get out the fine china here. Getting out the fine paper. Taking my Salisbury steak. Put it on the plate. Get some French onion gravy. Put that on top. You can't go wrong with that. Now, while we got this on the side, let's get the potatoes out of the oven. Potatoes are looking good. Put them right there. Some nice color to them. Makes it beautiful. Let's get some of those on the plate. Let's rinse this off. Let's get the spoon here. Spoon some of those potatoes in there. Get my fork. So let's get a taste. Let's try the potatoes first. Potatoes are tender, a little flavor. You know what? A little more salt. A little more salt on mine. One more taste. Better. Now, for the main event, the Salisbury steak. Gonna get a nice taste on it. Salisbury steak is cooked to perfection. The French onion gravy is what makes it. I wish I could say more, but there is no more to say. Another perfect day, another perfect meal. Salisbury steak with French onion gravy and some potatoes on the side. So, if you like what you see and you want more, subscribe below. And come on, send me your recipes and I'll recreate them on my channel. Until next time, the Cooking Cowboy signing off.